All right, hello everyone. We are getting it together right now. Since we set it up like the webinar thing and we're unable to set it back, I was indecisive. We're gonna start adding people in as panelists. So all of the homies will be able to be seen, and it'll look like a regular Zoom meeting. Thank you, Hannah. I was like, where did everyone go? Hey, Chippy. No, you're on it. I thank you so much. Hey, Ami. Hey, I'm like saying hi and I'm muted, but hi, Kumo. Hi, Natalie. So excited. Gerald will be talking to us all a lot. He has a lot to say today because he hasn't gotten the attention that he would like. Huh. And I will be snacking as I am normally doing. You want to say hi to the camera? You're gonna get mad if I pick you up though. Somebody said they're snacking too. Yes. Kumo, I'm not camera ready. Your face is always camera ready, okay? But that's up to you. Totally not required to show yourself if you do not want to. Okay. So we're still waiting on people to drop in. I think I'm gonna give it maybe 5 more minutes before I start rolling into the poetry and all the things. I have my guitar out, but I'm like still nervous to play in front of people. So we're gonna see if that happens. Hey, Erin, I'm so excited for you to be here. Gerald, it's gonna be you this whole time. Hi, hello. Hello. You can't hit the tripod. You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? Definitely not. Okay. Hey, you can't don't roll over because you're gonna hit the tripod. Now I have to wash my hands. Yeah. Also just realized I could be playing music right now, so I'm gonna do that. Want folks on camera or not? That is totally up to y'all. I see majority of folks, if not everybody. Yeah, no one has their camera on, so that's totally fine. I see Raji and Kirsten hopped in. Hello, hello. Yeah, camera on or off, up to you. Gerald says on. Show them what music should we play. Host has stopped it. Oh, let me see if we can turn on y'all's faces. Oh, I see Khalil's here too. Hello, hello. Yeah, Hannah, would you be able to allow for folks to show themselves? I guess it's not allowed.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at that now.
Okay, cool. Also, thank you for having the flyer up. I appreciate you. Hannah has been holding it down, y'all. Please extend some love to Hannah helping me out with this. Dun, dun. Okay. Meow. Gerald. I don't think the music is going to be too loud, but. Oh, Ryan. Ryan, you're going to get all of the praises. I hope you are ready. So for those of you who just kind of dropped in recently, I'm waiting. I mean, I told myself I was waiting for 5 minutes, but not letting you start the video. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to do that. I feel like they updated this and now I don't know what I'm doing, or I just never knew what I'm doing, which is the more likely case.
I mean, I feel like you did. Like I said, you turned everyone into panelists with a blink of an eye.
My one skill, making people panelists.
Yeah. It's so fairy tale. I know. All right. So for those of you who are just joining or joining maybe a couple of minutes ago, I said I was waiting like 5 minutes to let more people on, but I think we're gonna wait maybe another 5 minutes. The event's not gonna be long. The book, when I recorded it, was maybe 30 minutes. So yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna be reading every single piece from the book. So just to kind of give y'all a gauge of how long it will be. If you want to stay, you can. The homies, I'm probably just gonna sit and chill and talk a little bit. Like I said, I have my guitar. I may or may not play. Don't want to set that expectation just in case. I don't. And Hannah, you're still not able to? Okay. Thank you. All right, y'all. Yay, I see Ryan. See Ami. I see Khalil. All right, bet. I've been smoking on gas. Gerald, I'm gonna have to lower my tripod so he can be in the video because he's not gonna stop. Gerald. Smoking the mirrors. see how low I want it to be. Jailed High Bestie. Oh my God, Erin, where is God? Why can't I remember your cat's name right now? And I just remembered it earlier. She's being a menace. Sounds about right. Okay, Gerald. He's laid on the ground, so you can't really see him. Here, we'll just say hello. No, nothing. All right. I agree. I know. Now he has nothing to say. This is my life, y'all. Lounging around as he should. Yes. He is a king. Gerald. Hi. Oh, he wants me to scratch his belly. Oh, he wants some attention. Can y'all even hear the music? My laptop is so low. That's also why I did not do the Zoom from there. But yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter too much because I'm about to turn it off. But still. Oh, Raji, thank you. Okay, y'all, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, blessings. I hope you're feeling better too, Raji. I know everybody's been getting hit due to the weather. So yeah, I'm like, I coughed once earlier and I was like, I'm getting oranges and orange juice right now. This is not about to interrupt my life. I refuse. So yeah, I'm Shantia, as all of you know. Thank y'all for coming. I'm very excited about this. I guess I'll premise it with like, this book was supposed to be a project for my students, and it just kind of transformed into other things. So shout out to Ryan. That's the person. Well, let's see. Get ahead of it if you need medicine. Bet I will. Thank you, Raj. Yeah, so I reached out to Ryan. Okay, let me. So I got hired on by ASU last July after they saw a performance that I did, and they wanted me to work at Durango Juvenile Detention Center. And initially, I like had some reservations. Obviously, it's a jail. If you know me, you know I don't fuck with jails. So yeah, but I was like, it would be a really cool opportunity to teach students. They gave me complete liberty to like set up all of my workshops. Mind you, I had never done anything like it before. I mean, I've been doing poetry, but I've always kind of been the student. So yeah, I took the position. I started in September. And although I love the kids, I ran into a lot of issues with ASU. For many of you who live in Arizona, y'all know ASU be on bullshit. But it was just really unfortunate. This large institution couldn't like pay me on time, yet my colleague was being paid on time. Like just little weird shit like that was going on. So I decided not to renew my contract. And I was really sad. I was like, dang, I really want to leave something for the kids. And I had tried to bring them snacks. That wasn't allowed. I had like a few books that I donated, but it had to go through this whole process. So I was like, damn, how can I like make this happen to where it's like my poetry and I'm just giving it to them? It's not for profit. It's just for the kids to keep. So that was when I compiled like 9 of my favorite poems, and also I have a couple other favorites, but they were the most appropriate, most attention appropriate poems. And I felt like a lot of them were things that the kids could relate to based on my relationship to them and getting to know them and hearing their stories. So I put it together. The theme just like was already 9, and then it just transformed into something larger because I've been studying numerology and thinking about the number 9. So yeah, then I reached out to Ryan, and I honestly had his number since like this time last year, but I wasn't ready. I was like, I'm not ready to publish anything. Like, that's a big thing. But I reached out and I was like, hey, I have this project I'm doing for my students, and it's like, it's literally like a month away. So like, I don't know if you even have capacity to do this, but is this something that you would be interested in helping me with? And we met. Like, Ryan had just moved into his place. The Wi-Fi wasn't working. We got on Zoom, then we got on a regular call. There was just like so much happening, but the vibes were good. So basically we agreed to work on it. And then I was like, okay, yeah, let's do 30 books. So we did 30 books, and I went to like Ryan's house, and we figured things out. I had written out like the 9 times table, because 9 times any other number ends up equaling 9. And I wanted to see if that was true. So I did it all the way to 25 in one of my journals at home. And I was like, okay. Ryan showed me another chapbook, or another book that had like some stuff about numerology. And I was like, that's dope. So I ended up figuring out that zigzag pattern that is here. Yeah, Ryan showing love. Yes, so I did the zigzag pattern, and then I added the spirals, and Ryan had like some old graph paper. Like, he was like, let's stick with this math theme. And I'm like, bro, it's lit. So we did that. And then Ryan came up with this background based on, Ryan, do you want to talk about where this background came from? Are you okay talking about it? You don't have to. All right.
Gotta find it. But yeah, it's from like a little notebook that I made a couple years ago. And I had just scanned the back of it, and then we transformed sort of that scan into what became the background for Shantia's book, but I'll go find it.
Yes, y'all. Ryan has been super helpful. Oh, you found that fast. Hell yeah.
Little baby. Okay.
Yes. So that became the background. And then Ryan wanted to keep the theme all throughout of the 9s, and came up with that symbol that you'll see in the front of the book. If y'all have visited the website, if you have Instagram, the website link is on my Instagram in my bio. If you don't have Instagram, I can send it to you. It is free online to listen to and to read. If you want a physical copy, it's $9, keeping with the theme. And you can send Ryan an email, or you can reach out to me, whatever feels best for you. And we can get you a physical copy sent before, well, we're gonna see. If it's not before I leave, Ryan's gonna handle it. If it's, yeah, anyway, it's after I leave, Ryan will handle it. But thank you, whoever just dropped that link. Okay. Yeah, and then we kept the theme up with this first page. And then we put 9 spirals here again. So like, just a lot of intention that went into it. And like I said, we started doing 30 books. The kids can't have staples, so we literally sewed the books together. Shout out to Mary Hope too, who helped out. Amazing, amazing folks. So with that, I guess I will start reading a little bit, unless anyone has any questions. That's something that I didn't cover as far as like the cover or the making of the book. I guess I didn't talk about how it expanded, which I can. Yeah, so it started off with 30. I passed out the 30 books, and then I had way more students. Like, I had encountered way more students than I thought that I had, because students were getting transferred and moved to different units and stuff. So total, I interacted with like 80 students, and we had 30 books. So then we did did we do 30 or do 50? Yeah, we did like 51 more to keep it at 81 to make it 9. Shout out to Ryan. He was with me on this theme. And then, yeah, once we did that, I was like, oh shit, okay. Like, and then I passed out the rest of those books. Then I still have the students who had been transferred and fully left that didn't get books. I passed out all the ones that were like on site. So then we did another 81 books. And yeah, totaling it was 162, which was again 9. Kumo said, did the youth know you made a book about their experiences? Oh, the book's not about their experiences. The book's about mine. So this is 9 poems about my life. Some as far back as like when I started writing in high school in 2015 to the present. I know I really like, first of all, I think people should tell their own stories. So I am not going to be disclosing any of their stories, any of their information. I don't think that shit is cool. I don't even like to like, I feel like I take a long time when I'm writing my stories too, because everybody always has a different perception of things. So like I could be telling a story that somebody else sees as a lie. So I'm trying to take as many facts as possible to throw in there of my own experience. And also like what I did in the situation to kind of like, you know, it's going to be biased regardless, but just to make it as honest as possible. So no, I did not write the stories, but they do know that they're mine. And I told them that when I gave them the books. And then when I came back like 2 days later, they were like, dang, miss, that was deep. I read your whole book already that day. Like, that was really like, those are your stories. And I was like, yeah. So they seemed like surprised, I guess. But yeah, no, these are all personal stories of mine. Um, some empowering, some sad, just shit from my life. The students were from the age of 12 all the way up to 18. So that was one thing that like really hit me hard, not just like the issues with payment. I won't say non-payment because I did eventually get paid, but like seeing kids in a carceral space and then these adults are just fucking trash. Like, oh, these adults, like there was a lot of like black and brown guards too, which was I think even more upsetting. And there was the last week that I was there, Reframe was there, which is Raji's organization. So Raji, if you feel comfortable and you want to talk about what it was like being in there, Khalil, you too, y'all can definitely hop in. But yeah, like the babies were just so bright and sweet, and you could just tell that they were just some kids who were raised up in certain situations and made some mistakes. And I was just really upset with like the individual accountability aspect of it versus like these are fucking kids, bro. Like there's an adult responsible for why they're here. But yeah, it was a challenging experience. Um, did anybody want to add before I move past this piece of it? Like I can't see everybody fully because I'm on my phone. So all right. All good. Yes, no problem. So yeah, it was just really hard to be in there with them. And then there was one kid when I was leaving who was like, why are you leaving? Like I couldn't bash ASU outwardly like when I was in there. So they were like, why are you leaving? We had to have done something. And I'm like, no, like, and again, you know, that individual accountability of like this person who I am growing to like is leaving. So I must have been doing something wrong when that wasn't the case. So yeah, I was excited. My last week was the week of Christmas, which was really hard for a lot of them. So it was nice to be able to gift them this. A lot of them were readers or were kind of like forced to read in there. So yeah. Any other questions? Hell yeah. Hell yes. Yeah, when Khalil and them were in there, they did like collaging, which the kids loved so, so much. They got to sit on the ground and it was a vibe for sure. Yeah, creating with the kids and like letting them talk for themselves, like even calling them by their first names was like foreign in the space, which was fucking annoying. Um, collage heals Mary Hope. Yes, it do. Yes, it do. Oh my God, I have mine actually. I can show you real quick. Someone told me to leave it on my table. So this is the one that I made. And the quote says, I know what you can do, so go do it. So it was a really quick one. I was like sitting there talking a lot, to be honest. So I didn't put much on it. But yeah, it was a beautiful time, beautiful space that was held. I'm excited as I'm leaving that the kids will still have Reframe to access, and just other adults who genuinely care about them, because there wasn't very much of that in there. Anyway, any other questions, comments? Just collage stuff. Gotcha. All right, so I don't know what order I'm reading from. I'm kind of just gonna skim and see. I do want to premise it, like some of the pieces are heavy. I'll try to give a content warning before I even start the poem, but yeah, some of it is like really heavy content. So do want to give like a suicide warning. There's like a lot of like self-harm stuff, gender dysphoria, parental abuse, sexual violence. So yeah, if you feel uncomfortable or if you feel triggered in any way, like, no need to apologize if you have to exit the space. Because yeah, I want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable and safe. So with that, actually, yeah, let's go ahead. If y'all will indulge me and do a little breathing exercise. I know I need it because I've been running around and I'm about to do a lot of talking. So I'm like, so yeah, wherever you are, if you want to get into a comfortable position, I don't want to get on the floor. All right, let me see if I can bring y'all down with me. Yep. Up. Well then. Let me mute too real quick since I dropped it. Yes, y'all. Look, my tripod is a little janky, so and Gerald is coming too, obviously. Hi, Gerald. Hi, handsome. Where? Do you want to get in it? Come here. Come here. No? Okay, it's fine. All right, so wherever you are, if you can get into a comfortable position, if it's possible and accessible for you. And then if you're open to closing your eyes, you can. If you want to leave your eyes open, that's fine. We're just gonna do some 4x4 breathing, nothing too intense. So for those of y'all who have been sick, if this is difficult for you, if you just wanna do 2 seconds or 1 second, whatever feels good. But we're gonna inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds. Joe, really, you gonna scratch right now? All right. So yeah. So we're gonna inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 3, 4, inhale 2, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 4. I'm gonna do one more time. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 4, exhale. Drink some water and moisturize. Where is my? I thought I brought my Vaseline. All right, I'll rock with it. Hannah phone likes the floor. Oh, let me show y'all my guitar case that with help from my niece and nephew, painted recently. So Christmas, I was feeling kind of down, so I decided to paint and try to commemorate this place as I'm leaving. So I painted a phoenix. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Ami. Also, I'm like, am I saying your name right? Ami, let me know. Ami is a new friend who stays in Mexico.
Hi, it's Ami, no worries.
Got you. And then this is something that my niece did actually. This was like their handprint, but then they put their hand on it twice. So it kind of got a little, yeah. But to me, it looks like a person with a hat on waving. So I'm gonna go with it. And then my nephew painted this top part. It's a little, some color splotching, you know what I'm saying? So I will be putting varnish, I think that's what it's called, over it. So that if I end up in rain, it doesn't get washed off. Yes, yeah, I wanted to feel like I'm taking them with me as I'm going on this journey. Some of you know, some of you do not, that I am embarking on not just moving out of state, but moving out of the country. So it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride, but that is, yeah, that's why I'm reaching out for communal help. And I felt like I don't always want to have to fundraise for like trauma. This is like a huge turning point in my life. This is something that is bringing me a lot of joy. And like, I want to feel supported and joy too, and not just when I fucking crash my car or, you know, I'm not doing well mentally or something. So yes, if you can share, if you can donate, please do. If you can't, just share around as much as you can. I leave the state next Wednesday, and then the country hopefully by February. So yes, lots of things popping off. So with that, I am going to get started with the reading. And I think I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna start in order and then see where spirit takes me. So the first piece is called What's in a Name, a Performance in Two Parts. And this is a piece that I was editing for a long time, like a really long time. So it has 2020 in the book, but I feel like I was still editing it through the beginning of last year before performing it. So yes, shout out to my friend Hanan, who's out of town and couldn't make it, but she helped me with editing a lot. I also want to shout out Sean Avery, who is another writer out here who was helping me with a lot of editing around that time. Just very grateful for, you know, community. So here we go. And this one mentions dysphoria and misgendering and like cishet men. All right. What's in a name, a performance in two parts? 1, 2 years into my 3.5-year relationship, I told my ex I was attracted to women while crying at his feet on the carpet of our bedroom floor in the home we shared together. He cried with me and said he still loved me, said he was attracted to other women too, gave me a hall pass to explore my sexuality, then a year later told me the timing of my coming out made him feel like less of a man. This Halloween, I tried to dress up as his girlfriend again, but the costume didn't fit me anymore. Was replaced with glitter chest hair and suspenders fixed around my shoulder blades like gun holsters. Lips that had previously been adorned mostly red and glossy were not that, were instead surrounded by fake facial hair. Thighs that once squoze themselves into faux leather straight leg pants were free and loose fitting slacks that I could still shake some ass in. Chest once confined to push-up bras and so much underwire, lay hugged only by tape made to hold the skin, folded into itself how I tried to fold myself into him, into what a good woman was supposed to be, and I am no one's woman anymore. My body belongs to no one but me, and she, him, they allow themselves to be whoever the fuck they feel like being that day, and it is all me. This Halloween, it wasn't a costume. I stopped running from what I perceived masculinity to be, did not shrink my defined collarbones, broad shoulders, large Adam's apple, assertive demeanor for anyone else's comfort. I have found comfort in not having to choose between what feels good to me and what society deems acceptable for someone who is femme presenting. Lately, I've been struggling with labels, been triggered when my loved ones are misgendered because those interactions were personal transgressions against me. Because I know who I am, but was afraid to say it out loud, afraid of what it meant to add another layer of marginalization onto this heavy body. I was scared of people openly rejecting yet another piece of my identity, scared of what it meant to not have control over how other people viewed me, and that was it. Ego, the armor my fears seek refuge in, trying to convince me that hiding is the easiest way to survive because that is how I have always survived, all bowed head, hunchbacked and clenched fisted. I buried my queerness down deep because queerness had no seat in the church unless I was in the choir, and my mama never thought I could sing. Presenting my queerness means I have always had a voice. Means every time I have opened my mouth to correct someone for saying my name wrong, my non-binary identity was harmonizing. 2, I sat in a room with 2 people, Black queer women, one bisexual and one lesbian, as they continuously misgendered one of our mutual friends, then went on to talk about how important Black names are. The lesbian said she will actively correct anyone who misnames the bisexual woman because it matters, but could not connect the dots back to how bruises are left in the same places when misgendering someone, because misgendering is misnaming someone. My name is Shantia. Split down the middle, it makes 2 perfect Black nicknames. My nicknames are a privilege afforded to those closest to me, who took the time to pronounce every syllable of my full name correctly, never needing to call me something else because my name was too full to fit inside their mouths. My gender may be too much for some folks to fit inside their mouths. For those people, I will allow them to grit their teeth and bow their heads and call me only she, because those who I care enough for will know. Those who care enough for me will ask. Thank you. I might really have to go get that Vaseline, y'all. My lips is parched. Thank you. Let me grab that real quick. I'm gonna turn closed Apple Music. All right, I'll be ready. Oh, Gerald has come back to entertain you all. A special appearance. Thank you. Thank you all. Kirsten, Natalie, yes, thank y'all. All right. So that one made me want to do Mouth Big, which I did for a performance that I had last May. That was really dope. It was called the Her Piece Open Mic. And I definitely struggled with going because I had already, like, my pronouns were they, them only at that time. But I think I was still kind of struggling with, like, okay, gender identity and perception, and like, you know, people are gonna see me as a woman anyway. And like, I didn't have language for, like, culturally, I feel like a Black woman at that time. So I did that poem and it was super lit. But it's a little inappropriate. So in the book, I cut out like a huge chunk of the poem. So I'm gonna read that one off of my laptop because I would like to read the adult version because I don't think that there are any children in this space at this time. Nope. Cool. All right. This one I gotta drink because I gotta sing. I'm like not gonna look at y'all, okay? Like still very nervous about like creating in these different ways. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I'm like so used to like being a poet that it's still hard for me to lean into these other art forms that I've started developing more. But I did start vocal lessons, and I started guitar lessons, which have been really, really awesome, and like validating. We sensitive about, yes, not just Issa, that was Miss Erica Badu, okay? Keep in mind I'm an artist, so I'm sensitive about my shit. And I'm gonna have to stand while I'm singing, cause yeah. Like I said, I had a cough too, so I'm like, we're gonna do it. Gerald, would you like to come over here? I need some emotional support at this time. Thank you. Hey, handsome. Okay. All right, so the song portion is from a song called Speak by Janae Aiko. I just switched up the words a little bit to accommodate for my gender identity. Okay. I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, no, this one just talks, it mentions sex, it mentions some violence, like parental violence. I think that's it. Okay, sorry. I'm like obviously postponing having a say, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Speak from my heart, baby. Speak from my soul, sugar. Say what you want, baby. Act like you know who you are. Speak from your gut, honey. Say what you want, my love. Be who you wanna be. Speak, 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 be free. What are words if not weights? And what happens if I share something too heavy? Share with someone who cannot support the weight of my truth. My mama used to tell me if I ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But my words weigh a ton on my tongue, fill up my throat, press down on my lungs. So many times when someone made me uncomfortable, I would stop breathing. Told my chest to stay quiet, and maybe the full body silence would take these feelings away. Like maybe if my muted mouth curled itself into a smile, everything would be okay. When people make me uncomfortable, I sometimes mistake my own truthful observations as petty judgments. So before, I would rather stay silent than say something that could hurt someone's feelings or make them dislike me, even if what I wanted to say was the truth, and even if that person had just cut me with their words. There's a story of a young mermaid who trades her voice to a witch in exchange for becoming human to be with a man. How many times have I ripped out my own esophagus and handed it to someone in exchange for their acceptance, for friendship, for a man? The first man I met off Tinder when I was 19 didn't like that I made noise during sex. Went from saying, damn girl, why are you so loud, jokingly at my studio one night, to asking me to stay over at his place, then halting sex midway so he could silence me. I was at his apartment on top of him on his couch when he said, can you please be quiet? I closed my mouth and he came, and I never had sex with him again. There's another tale of a boy whose father, a king, was murdered by his uncle when he was an infant. And for fear of the boy being next, since he was heir to the throne, his mother hid him away and forced him into silence for his own protection. My mother tried to censor the breath from my body, raised me in fear and convinced, my bad, I had to burp, sorry. Raised me in fear and convinced me I needed to hide myself away from my own protection, to be able to survive, to be liked, to be accepted into this white world as a small Black girl with a name like Shantia and a mouth like a small Black girl named Shantia. Like the universe ain't gift me a mouth this big on purpose. Like I ain't meant to use it. Like I ain't deserving of being heard. Like I ain't deserving of laughter so genuine, my mouth wide as fuck. My mouth wide as fuck. My mom used to call me a donkey, a buck-toothed beaver, had my sisters join in. Told me to only smile with my mouth closed. Then when she would smile for pictures, she kept her mouth closed. I have a combination of my mother's and my father's mouths. I don't have either of their lips, but I have my father's wide grin and my mother's disrespectful pout. I inherited both of their crooked bottom rows, cheekbones that lift lightfully when they smile. Both have parentheses at the corners of their mouths. Did you know that the muzzle of a lion is like its fingerprint? That no two lions have the same pattern circling their mouths? I'm sure not many people get close enough to notice the pattern of a lion's whiskers when all they see is the lion's teeth. My mother used to tell me not to open my mouth when I smile because my teeth are so big. I think she was afraid people wouldn't be able to see past them, or that the attention would make me ravenous, cause me to swallow up the esteem, gorge myself on more than generational self-loathing that never belonged in my mouth. If I smile with my mouth closed, I have one of my mother's dimples and all of her insecurity. Do y'all see where I'm going? People will only fight to silence the pieces of you that they are ashamed or afraid of within themselves. People will only fight to silence the pieces of you that they are ashamed or afraid of within themselves. I will fight to keep my mouth open, voice booming and spilling over with truth, and encouraging others to do the same. Oh, thank you, Gerald. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Snaps and Zoom mute. Thank y'all. Thank you, Jiminy. I'm like shaking. I gotta say. About to eat a snack. Oh, shit. I feel like every time I tell people I'm awkward, they like are comparing it to some like fucking Judd Apatow movie awkward or something, but like a nigga got anxiety. So thank you all. I got you, Ami. I got you. All right. So what time is it? I do want to be mindful. So it's 10 minutes to 7:30. If folks want to hop off at 7:30, I'll do a poem right now. I'll do one last one, and then if y'all want me to do more, I can. I mean, I have to like pack, but besides that, I'm free till about 9. So I'll do one more, and it's also one that's in here, but that I had to edit. Oh, thank you, Kumo. Literally one of my faves. Like, as I was learning how to love myself again, that was the jam. That was it. It's on my throat. So like, one thing about me that some people know, some people don't, I make a lot of different playlists for different moods. So I made different playlists for all of the different chakras. And so I have a throat chakra playlist that has that. It started with that song, and then that's how all of the other ones came about. So yeah, Janae, powerful, a queen, a god. All right, so I'm gonna do one more. In here it's called, oh, what happened to the screen? Okay. Where can these playlists be found? Just in my phone. Just in my phone. I'm sorry. I have Spotify, but I don't have the premium thing, but I guess I could utilize Spotify more. I had an iPhone for a while, and so I had Apple Music, and I'm like, I started making so many playlists on there that I didn't want to switch over, but I got you. I got you. All right, so the poem in here is called Ode to My People in Arizona. It's after a poem by Dinesh Smith. However, the real version is Ode to My Niggas in Arizona, but it was for the kids. And I honestly just was doing everything I could to make sure that the book would get approved. Like I said, I had to edit out part of mouth big, and like I edited out a lot of cuss words. Like when I said ass in the first poem, I didn't have that in the book. I had to take that out because I was like, there's no way that I don't, like, first of all, me and Ryan were already working on these goddamn books. So I would have been mad if we had done all the books and then they would have been like, oh, actually it can't be approved because you have all these cuss words. So yes, I'm gonna do the real version of this poem because it's my favorite. One of my favorites. And it's after a poem by Dinesh Smith, who is an amazing, incredible, oh my God, all the things, amazing queer artist, who's another poet who started in slam poetry like I did. And their piece is entitled Shout Out to My Niggas in Mexico. So their piece is about the diaspora. Yeah, their piece is about the diaspora, and like bringing in all, like basically like everybody's invited to the cookout. Like if you have Black ancestry, like it was that kind of piece. It's awesome. You should check. That book is called Homie. I'm not getting sponsored for plugging Dinesh. I just love Dinesh very much. So yeah, this poem was inspired by it, but it's not anything like Dinesh's poem. I'm gonna zoom in on my screen because it was real hard to try to see it. I was struggling. I won't get into my glasses right now. So first thing it starts off with, actually that's the only thing that's edited. I'm gonna just replace people with nigga, and I'm gonna read from the book. So there's two quotes in the beginning. One, it says, "We cannot live healthy lives in the present if we drown ourselves in the past." That's by Kiese Layman, who is also another incredible writer from Mississippi. My guy is all the things. And then there's another, the second quote is, "Forgetting is the true death." And that's by Dr. Coco. If y'all know who, God, why can't I remember her name right? Chantrell P. Lewis. There's a documentary on Netflix called In Our Mother's Gardens. I would highly recommend, if you have not seen it, to watch it. It's a beautiful take on like women from the Black diaspora honoring and being honest about their relationships to their mothers and their maternal lineage. And yeah, Dr. Coco is a beautiful queen. Yes, Mary Hope, you better let them know. 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10. It's incredible. So yeah, Dr. Coco was this awesome older Black woman on there, talking a lot of shit, but it was like such valid shit. And that was one of her quotes, like, we have to honor our ancestors, because forgetting is the true death. Forgetting the stories and forgetting what we've been through is the true death. So here we go. Oh, to my niggas in Arizona to wrap us up. I'm sorry, because I took 5 minutes with the intro. I love myself the best when I am not beating my heart senseless while reflecting on my mistakes. Sometimes I forget that healing is not linear, that growth looks different for everyone, that the sun does not disappear simply because the moon is out. When I awake after a moon-filled night, I meditate, stretch my legs across my living room floor and say hello again to the sun because he back like he never left. And I am reminded that I deserve kindness from myself, that I am capable of showing kindness to others, even if I am just learning how to do it right. My holy place is wherever me and my niggas are able to be ourselves. Hope is the thought of safety for my niggas, of unfastening the fear that limits a quality of life for Black and fat and disabled and queer folks. A very real and warranted fear created by a system that tells us the bodies we were born in do not deserve joy. A system that punishes us when we choose to seek our own definition of joy anyway. I just want me and my niggas to be able to go camping alone, to connect with nature and to not always be about a man or a tree or a body of water, or the connection to men and trees and bodies of water not always being a warning, a foreboding tale of death. For the last year, I've been grieving the loss of my mother, even though she is still alive. And my niggas hold me. They remind me of my strength, however annoyed I am by having to push past my softness in order to survive here. They remind me that I have survived so much. And I think about when I was 20 years old and did not want to survive. And when I was 16 and did not want to survive. And when I was 6 and people thought I wouldn't survive. I'm the one who made it out alive after I almost killed me, after grief almost killed me, after a virus almost killed me, after violence almost killed me, after rejection almost killed me, after reflection almost killed me. I'm the one who made it out alive. So I hold myself and know that if I am alive for nothing more than this holding and no one else but myself, it is worth being alive for the time I have been afforded here by the universe. And I'm gonna make it count every time I see my niggas. Me and my niggas embody the entire universe. Worlds of knowing be lodged between our teeth, piercing our gums, forcing their way off of our lips because we just gotta pass around this free game. Me and my niggas want each other to succeed. Me and my niggas talk shit to each other. Roast ashy knees and white ancestry we never asked for. Discuss the true and uncomfortable things that ultimately stretch us into being our most authentic selves. Me and my people want to love each other as our most authentic selves. This is not an ode to those who pride themselves on being racially ambiguous, or those who love to worship ancestors who do not belong to them, who call themselves Phoenix natives as if them and they ancestors are not colonizers of this Hohokam, Yuma, Akmel, Autumn, Yavapai land. Me and my niggas understand that we are not of this land, but we here. My ancestors who were stolen from their land migrated from the south to seek better lives for their descendants, bled into this dirt, fertilized the ground with all they had to give, and prayed their labor would evolve into something that would no longer require bleeding. I was born and raised in South Phoenix, Black and poor and small, but also Black and femme and fierce, a fire sign. And I think about how intentional the universe was when they wrote my story, knew that my reincarnation was imminent. The legend of the Phoenix states that when it feels its end approaching, it builds a nest of the finest aromatic woods, sets it on fire, and allows itself to be consumed by flames. And God help you if you are a phoenix and you dare to rise up from the ash. 1,000 eyes will smolder with jealousy while you were just flying past. When I turned 18 and a half, I ran away from my mother's home, from the inferno of trauma, crimson, and copper scorching my inside. When I turned 23 and a half, I discovered 2 community gardens were being cultivated down the street and around the corner from where I ran away from. When I went to volunteer, I felt exactly the same and completely different. The soil knew me as though I had risen from it because I had buried my inner child in the MLK Jr. and PL Julian playgrounds, underneath the broken down Cadillacs in my daddy's backyard on 25th and Corona. My body left, but my soul stayed on the south side, knowing I would return to the soil one day. Me and my niggas be all the sacred in the ground. Be the phoenix ash, snow bunnies dust from their shoes on their way back to wherever the fuck we never asked them to leave from. I am a child of the valley of the sun, the desert, a place of worship. The phoenix worships for 500 years at a time and only takes 3 days to rise again. That's my fave. Something that would no longer require bleeding. Love it. Thank y'all. Oh shit. Oh, I appreciate you all. Thank you. Trinity, I fucking love you. Trinity is another amazing artist out here. I'm just gonna shout them out real quick as I'm shouting out the homies. Yeah, recovering, was not feeling very well today, but ultimately has a gig on Saturday the 15th in Chandler somewhere. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be beautiful, and I'm very excited. Gerald said, "Meow." That man's laying over here looking angry. Hi. But yes, Trinity also does all the things. Hit them on IG. I don't know what other social media you have because I'm only on Instagram. But yes, if y'all want to connect with each other, I am so down for people posting their acts in here to connect with each other. I was definitely very intentional with who I wanted to be here, who I was in community, who I am in community with. So I'm very thankful for all of y'all who were able to show up. And if you add anybody who's on this, in this Zoom meeting, they're gonna be good vibes, I promise you. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, Kirsten is lit. Kirsten's in Florida right now. And ooh, thank you, Erin. You're totally fine. Thank you so much for being here. Oh. Oh God. And Natalie. Everybody, just about everybody on here is an artist in some way, okay? Just want y'all to know that. Oh, thank you, Kumo. Kumo just moved. Kumo is the homie that I met only a few months ago and we kind of clicked, and then she moved when I was thinking about moving. Hi, Gerald. We were both talking about it. She moved to New York, so shout out to Kumo. Everybody living the dream. But yeah, Kirsten is a photographer. Kirsten has a YouTube channel dedicated to all things weed. Beautiful, beautiful content. So yes, if you want to add each other, please do. But like I said, if folks have to leave right now, you totally can. If you want to stay, I'll probably stay on here until 8. Yes, Raji. Yes. Aw. Look, I mean, I'm sure that you have some creativity stuff. Ami has their own YouTube channel dedicated to talking about living abroad. Okay, this nigga been living abroad for a year and a half, and that is how I found them and found him and was able to connect with him because I went on YouTube and was looking for Black folks who lived abroad. It was such an honor, Mary Hope. I appreciate you. Yes, of course, Kirsten. Thank you for coming. But yeah, please. Kumo has a podcast, y'all. Like, please. Of course. I love all of you. Thank you so much. And Ryan does all the things, like I said, not only helping me to publish this book, but helps many people in the community to publish whatever they're thinking of doing. And Ryan's a poet, so there's that. But yeah, it's lit. It's lit. Yes. Yes, Trinity. Trinity gonna be playing. Trinity will support, okay? What do you think, Gerald? Yes. So that said, yeah, I mean, like I said, if y'all want to stay till 8, I can do another poem. I can fiddle around on my guitar. Whatever feels good to folks. But if you have to leave, that's totally fine. Ryan's like, yeah. I know. As soon as I went, the first time I went to Ryan's house and I saw that he had a guitar, I was like, can I touch this? Oh, goodness. Let me see. What Natalie say? Poem encore. I love y'all. Okay, all right. Let me see. What are we gonna do? Mm, 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 mm. Okay, I'm gonna do one that I did not include in the book. It was a little inappropriate for the kiddos. But it's one that I wrote when I was having a really hard time early last year when it came to dysphoria and autonomy, feeling like I own my own body after years of you are VIP, okay? I'm honestly we'll talk. I mean, but I'm should I just go straight to Mexico City instead of Oaxaca and link with folks first? Because y'all, when I tell you there's a lot of Black people Black queer folks specifically who moved to Mexico, like with the shit. Mary Hope is actually the one who told me about the population of like Afro-Mexicans in Oaxaca. So after having lived there too. So get into it. All right. So this one has some cussing, has some sexual language. Not necessary. I mean, there's like a little bit of violence, like kind of, but not like overt violence. So here we go. Yes. So there's a lot of folks in Mexico City. Like from what I've seen, I almost moved. I was thinking about moving to Puerto Vallarta, which also has like a lot of Black queer folks that I saw posting about it. Those are the only couple places that I know of. Me, if you want to unmute and let us know.
Sorry, y'all, I got scared. Someone on camera, I get scared talking. Nah, Oaxaca and Mexico City really can't go wrong with either of those. I personally have found the most intentional, beautiful, loving community here in Mexico City than all my travels. But yeah, Oaxaca is actually one of my favorite places as well. So for sure, you should come out here and come to Mexico City though, period. Just saying.
I got you. Y'all heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. All right. Like such a sweetheart. Literally, Trinity, when I tell you that there's a lot, I'll tell you another time. But yes, like just all the love, so much kindness. Like that's what I'm really most like grateful for as I'm in this part of my journey, connecting with people. Is like some real ones, bro. Like some real ones. That's all I can say. And I know that I'm receiving the love that I'm putting out. So I'm just like also very grateful for my growth because I have not always been this person. A lot of y'all did not know me 2 years ago. So like I'm very thankful for my growth and I'm thankful for the community and the friendships and the connections that connections that I'm cultivating. I'm able to cultivate and continuing to. You know, we love it here, Kumo. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna keep it 100. We all got a past. We all done fake healed. I done did it a couple of times. We're in the midst of the real journey now. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna do this one. Literally. It's called Shame and Autonomy Have a Talk, or As Home Becomes My Own Body. And to preface this, so like the chapbook, you know that, yes, growth. Bro, so Kumo is also an insecure stan, which I'm not mad about because Kumo reignited the fire of insecure in my body. Like I was like, it's the last season, okay. And then I really had to sit with it and I started crying and shit. I was like, dang, this show changed my life. What? It's just so realistic to like growing up an awkward Black girl and having certain experiences. I definitely feel like there could have been more queer representation, but also she was telling the story from her point of view as a cis Black woman. So, you know, not her story to tell, queer folks' stories. So, yeah. Beautiful, amazing show, realistic as fuck. Oh, best show in like the last 10 years, I would say. But yeah, so when Ryan and I were putting together this one, I didn't even expect to sell it. Bye, Raji. Thank you so much for being here. I did get your voice message. I'm gonna get to you, I promise. I love you. Yeah, when me and Ryan were putting this together, it was never gonna be like for profit or anything. It was just to give to the kids. So it's just like really wild to see how it transformed. At first, like Mary Hope was like, oh yeah, is it gonna be on the website? And I was like, I don't think so. And then Ryan, like a later phone call we had, he was like, I feel bad I didn't bring that up. Like, is this something that you would want to do? And I was like, well, I didn't think about it. We were just both, yes, much love, Khalil. Yeah, like we were both just thinking about it in the idea that it was just gonna be a project for the students and that was it. And then it morphed into something else. And then Ryan was like, well, yeah, we can get it on the website. You can send me a picture, do the bio. He's like, there's also an option to record it. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. Literally, the recording has so much of Gerald in that motherfucker. Like, he's a co-collaborator at this point as well. And now he's coming. Yeah, you heard me talking about you. But yes, so it just expanded so much, and being able to be paid for my work, like after I haven't worked in a corporate space in like little over a year, is just really gratifying. Like taking that chance on myself and not knowing what the fuck to expect, and then now I'm like a whole published author, and it's really insane. So super thankful, super grateful for you, Ryan. Ryan is a real one, true to himself always. Yes. And genuinely love the fuck out of some books. Like, I don't think I have encountered anybody else who like loves books this. Like literally, like the editing process, we were just talking about this. I'm about to tell our story about our conversation yesterday. Talking about like, yeah, like the little tedious parts of like putting it together, editing, changing font could have been so boring, but it was like so joyful when we were doing it. And I'm like, yeah, because like I'm a fucking nerd. This is my shit. Like I had already formatted all of the poems before I even sent them to Ryan, like as far as spacing. If y'all get the book, or if you check online, you'll see like there's different spacing. And for which poem can I go to where you'll actually I'll go to the bottom of this one. So like just like certain spacing of different words and stuff I'd already done. So like I'm like, this is my jam. And we just had a great time. And I just love Ryan. I'm very excited to like publish a full collection. So this poem will be in the full collection. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it now because I just gave a long ass premise. This is me. This is how I communicate. This is just what happens. Shame and autonomy have a talk, or as home becomes my own body. I lay on the couch in my apartment on a Wednesday afternoon and get the urge to masturbate, but can't fantasize without my mother's voice or a man from my past interrupting. I haven't touched myself in weeks, and it is almost always in the shadows, almost always hidden underneath my blanket. I say I love my body now, but our relationship is still complicated, still distant. There's still so much trauma standing between us. My body and I are trying to figure out how to communicate with each other and it not be a scream or a cry or a critique. How to love each other without needing someone else in the room. How to love my body alone. I've had moments where I've dreamt of myself, said my own name and enjoyed that pleasure. Then I let a demon inside of me and remembered the feeling of giving my body away for someone else's pleasure as if mine wasn't enough. 7 months of celibacy had me feeling so connected back to myself, yet so starved for someone else's touch. I sat with Karina at the park 10 minutes from downtown Phoenix and stared into the man-made body of water a few feet from us. I couldn't help but think about the ancient tale of Narcissus as I almost leaned over to stare into the unclean lake and thought about the fact that I couldn't swim. If I fell in, I would have literally died exactly how he did, drowning after wanting to touch himself, confounded with admiration while staring at his own reflection. My ex used to say, I wish you could have a camera or a mirror following you around all day so you could see how much you'd be doing. Once I found my own apartment after he moved out of the home we'd shared together, could no longer carry the weight of all the things we hadn't said out loud to each other. Tension packed into the 600 square feet space we'd once felt most at peace, like pneumonia suffocating lungs already prone to disease. I chose a place with a wall of mirrors in the dining room. I needed to see myself. On days when I disappoint myself, I could not stare at my own reflection. Intentionally avoided looking in the mirror for as long as I could. I did not feel worthy of eye contact. I did not want to stare down shame head on. Having language for shame takes away its power and still hurts like hell to say out loud, but somehow strips down its skin. Reveals shame too is merely carnality concealed by a cage, a human's ego exposed and naked and trembling from the vulnerability of being seen, being addressed by their government name on a street full of people they thought they didn't know, in a town they were unfamiliar with. The shame I felt thought they was invisible for so long they had almost forgotten their own name. Sat stunned they had been acknowledged for who they were. pulled back the curtains of ego to look outside and see who was knocking on their door at this time of night. I named shame and held it, the closest I had felt to myself in years. And shame laid in my arms unguarded, admitted being seen for who they were felt so much better than hiding, changed their name to all the reasons for hiding instead, trauma responses of unforgiveness and distrust, hypersexualization and adultification as a child, masculinization as a Black femme. My body has never felt like my own. It's been the property of either my parents or a man, and it's been time for reclamation. I grab a handful of the front of my boxer briefs and you can't tell if it's a fat pussy or a dick, but you're already aroused from staring at me. And the only reason anyone dissects someone else's identity is because you're now questioning your own. You're either attracted to me or jealous of my freedom that doesn't align with the roles you've been told to play and become so disgustingly good at. I became so disgustingly good at checking the boxes of who I thought I was supposed to be. But those boxes can be undone if we're willing to grab a hammer and fuck some shit up. Ooh. Thank you, Ryan. I mean, yes. Hammer time. We're dismantling the patriarchy. We're dismantling gender because it's fucking fake. It's all made up. Thank you so much. Yes. Dun, dun, dun. All right, y'all. Well, it's 11 minutes to 8. So would you like to unmute and just talk? Like I said, I can fiddle on my guitar, but I have not tuned it or nothing today. Oh, thank you. We can make that happen. Okay. That's awesome. Somebody just asked me to quote me earlier, and yeah, so that's fucking cool. Oh, good night, Mary Hope. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Did I hear merch? Bruh, there's so much happening. Natalie. Oh my God. Love Natalie. Natalie is also an artist. Natalie paints. Natalie was making clothes for a second. Natalie does a lot of things. Oh goodness. But yeah, it's up to y'all. I love you. If you want to unmute and just talk, I honestly like my cheeks kind of hurt a little bit. Like I've been talking a lot. So somebody else wants to talk. I would love it.
Your work is so dope. I feel honored to be here, and I'm so grateful that. Sorry, also, I'm recovering from COVID, so please excuse my. Anyway, we move forward. Thank you so much for creating this space, and your work is absolutely amazing and beautiful, and I'm so thankful to be able to witness it in this space, in this capacity. So thank you so much. I'm gonna mute again because now it's awkward.
No, it's not. Oh my God,
Not awkward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I didn't really necessarily know what this space was gonna look like since I was just doing it at my house. But I was really just hoping that it would be a communal space, and that I would be able to hold it, share some heavy poems, but also still be able to like cultivate joy. Because it's a big, like, life is happening fast, and I'm just like so excited to celebrate. Also, Ryan too. Like, I wouldn't have celebrated the book if Ryan hadn't brought it up. I'm gonna be honest. I was just like, oh, like this is just a little book I'm giving to the kids. It's fine. And Ryan's like, are you gonna like do something to like celebrate this? Like, this is a big deal. And it didn't even occur to me as a big deal at the time. And then as things have progressed, it's like, oh, this is a big deal. I'm sending links to family members and shit. Like, this is a lot.
If you wouldn't have celebrated this stuff and I would have found out that you were, listen, a crime would have occurred.
Yeah, thank you for celebrating it. I can say for me, it's been really special to get to hear you reading them out loud. We've been working together over the past couple months on these, but I haven't heard the poems out loud in your voice. And so it's felt, yeah, like a real gift on my end to be able to hear that and feel like, yeah, the poem, like this is an artifact of that. Those are in conversation in a really beautiful way. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Hannah, too. Like, yeah, I'm very grateful that I decided to celebrate it. And you know, like when people were posting their New Year's resolutions and shit, Kumo had posted at one point and was like, yeah, how are you celebrating yourself? Or like, how are you, I don't know, like something about celebrating your accomplishments for 2021. And I really sat there and stared at it for a while and like didn't respond because I was like, it was like a story respond thing. It wasn't like a message, but yeah, like I just didn't know what to say. So I was like, damn. I don't know. And so I think it's just, this is put into perspective how hard I have been working. Not necessarily like how I was when I was in a capitalist mindset and like working super hard to like move up in a fucking company or something, or like in sales, but just like how much internal work I've been doing and how that translated into my heart. And again, the community that I'm like cultivating and feeling so seen here, and being able to share that. That was also something that was really important to me. I wanted to make sure that people here who I genuinely fuck with, who see me. Yes, me and Natalie met at a sales job, all right, y'all, 3 years ago. It was a lot. All right, we was in the middle of Scottsdale. Oh, yeah, Natalie is, yeah. So that said, definitely have come a long way as far as knowing who I am and resting and like figuring shit out. More recently, I have not been resting as much as I should have, which is like, then the universe just hits me real hard. What does Sally say? I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for like donating on a consistent basis. Like I appreciate you. So you take care too. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Sending love. Yeah, all that to say, I'm very grateful, and I'm like, I just be wrestling with imposter syndrome and shit, but this is like, it's a physical manifestation of the work that I've been doing. Like I cannot unsee it. It's here. This is what I did. So it's really beautiful to have it. Yeah. My cheeks also hurt because I've been smiling so much. I'm just like so happy. So there's like 4 minutes to 8 my time, 8 Mountain Standard Time, I should say. Anybody want to do maybe last remarks? Want to close out? I guess I'm gonna just practice guitar another time. I gotta pack and shit. I gotta run to Walmart, y'all.
When are you leaving?
You said when am I leaving?
You said you're packing, like, and then you said,
I have like a day trip to California tomorrow.
okay.
Hopefully I'll be able to see Natalie when I go. But yeah, I've kind of just been like letting spirit guide me when it comes to moving and stuff. So I had a dream. They told me to go to Long Beach, California before I go to DC. So that's where I'm going. And then from DC, out this bitch. This is also the most I've talked publicly about my move, so shit's weird. Yay, Natalie's face.
Okay, I like kind of look and feel like trash, but I just want to say hi, and I really appreciate, like, I don't know, this whole thing. I've always really loved your writing and stuff, and just hearing you perform it. That's not like on videos that I see after, you know, it's just more special, and it's always special, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you. And I hope I get to see you. I sound like I can swear, a fucking frog. I do. But I'm going to try to get better so that you can come and hang out.
Yeah. You do not sound like a frog and you don't look terrible, but you do sound like you're, feeling a little sick. So I hope that you're taking care of yourself.
Thank you. But I just want to say hi, and I have to head, but thank you so, so much. Your work is always inspiring and incredible and makes me have all the feels, like every single one of them. So
Thank you. I love you. Please rest well. I'll talk to you soon.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Natalie's my bestie, y'all. That's one of them. All right. 2 minutes to 8. Ryan, you unmuted. Are you gonna say something?
I mean, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited for you, obviously, for having this thing done, but also just for like the big moves that you're making and the trust that you're putting out there to do it. So it's, yeah, I'm really excited for you, and I can't wait to hear how things go. And also, like, you and Ami gonna be hanging out. That's cool. Speaking of which, I just got your message about ordering the book. This is real time. We've got so maybe Shantia, if you could coordinate a delivery, that would help with the
Oh, I was just gonna have it sent to address in the States. I wasn't having to try to pay for international shipping. Listen,
Oh,
no, I was just gonna say I can bring it with me, and then that's my excuse to go to Mexico.
That means you gotta come to Mexico City.
There you go. So yeah. Cool. Well, we got it figured out. This is better than the postal service. This is you. Go.
Avoiding the anti-Black white supremacist postal service all day, every day.
Literally. All right. Trinity, did you have anything to say? Any last remarks? I know you're not feeling too well, so if you don't want to unmute or say anything, that's totally fine. Or Hannah. Another shout out to Hannah because, bruh. Woo! When I tell y'all this shit, it wasn't last minute. I think that I started doing things last minute, but I already had the idea for a bit. Yeah. Hannah came through with the Zoom. Helped out so much.
Yeah, happy to help. Happy to help. This is all you. Yeah, I'm glad to know you. And
you said what?
Just glad to know you. And yeah, I'm excited for everything that you have ahead of you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, no, it's not just me. It takes a village. We just learned that here. Like Ryan, Mary Hope, and you helping with this. Like, I'm very grateful for y'all. So yes, I did the writing, but I want to give credit where credit is due. And yes, I'm so grateful that I connected with Hannah. I connected with Hannah fully, like once I started doing sewing classes last September. I don't even remember what month it was. It was probably earlier than that. It was like July or August. But yeah, I think we had like known each other through social media, but hadn't talked in person. And so, yeah, getting to know Hannah. I remember when you cut your hair and shit too. I was like, you look different. So like little things. And then we started hanging out outside of the sewing class, and Hannah's just a dope ass friend, a beautiful community member. Definitely is always supporting with anything that I need, but specifically like monetary, that shit matters. So I appreciate you extending yourself in that way for however many months it's been when I am in need. Yeah. Well, it's 8:02, y'all. That's all I got. But I appreciate you so very much. Hannah, can you stay on with me so we can figure out? I don't know if we just turn off the recording or if there's like another process to it.
Yeah, I'll stay on with you for a minute. We can talk about that.
All right.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Love y'all.
Good
Yeah.
night. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night. Oh, well, Trinity, what you say? Oh. Ah. Oh yes. They don't know about the music. The music is but I've already disclosed a bunch of other details as far as where I'm moving and stuff, so it's fine. Yes. Thank you for being here. Please take care of yourself. All right, so Hannah.
So I'll stop the recording now.